Welcome back to America Decides. Federal Reserve cut interest rates by a quarter percentage point just days after the presidential election. You might know inflation played a pretty significant role in that election. CBS News exit polling found 3/4 of voters felt that high prices were either a severe or moderate hardship for them in the last year. This despite the fact that statistically, inflation has been cooling. That's the difference between vibes and statistics, among other things. CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady joins us now. Kelly, I want to play for the audience an interaction you had this afternoon with the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. Let's play that.
Many average Americans are still not feeling the strength of the economy in their wallets. So what's your message to them on when they might expect relief?
So you're right that we say the economy is performing well, and it is, but we also know that people are still feeling the effects of high prices, for example. And the world went through a global inflation shock, and inflation went up everywhere, and, it stays with you.
It stays with you economically, and now we know politically. Your takeaway from the overall assessment of the Federal Reserve chairman today about the rate move and the not-too-distant future?
I mean, look, this is going to be a frustrating answer for folks to hear, but I think it's going to take time. And that's exactly what Fed Chair Powell said to me, that, look, this is going to take time for your wages to increase at a rate that is above inflation.
Right. Wages have been increasing. They just haven't been keeping pace.
And it takes time, Major. I mean, that's the unfortunate reality of it. He did say that, look, we don't discount how you're feeling, but it is simply going to take time. And so I think the message today is, look, we got another quarter point. And so there will be some relief. But, yeah, you're not going to see those prices go down. That would be deflation. To
what degree was the topic of America's economic future for the next year raised in the press conference today? Was there any talk of fear that the Federal Reserve Chairman might have a recession?
So he did not say recession at all, right? It was kind of funny. You always like to watch the Dow when Chair Powell is speaking. Right. It goes up, it goes down. Yes. Nothing was different today. It was all over the place. He did say we're in a strong place when it comes to taming inflation. The labor market has cooled, but we are not going off a cliff. We're not in a recession. He did say we do see path to a soft landing. What he did say, though, is that we're in a wait-and-see mode. There is some economic uncertainty. He refused to answer questions about this next administration coming in, but we do know some of their inflation or their policies could be inflationary. Some of them could be very strong for the economy. But again, it comes back to that wait and see.
And there has been a conversation in the Trump world about, and he said this himself during the campaign, well, if I'm reelected, I might want to be able to give strong advice to the Federal Reserve. I should have that prerogative. Did that come up at the press conference today? And is there any sense you have that the Federal Reserve feels under a Trump administration there might be more political heat?
So it did come up, Major. Many of us tried to press Chair Powell, and he said—
Good reporters that you are.
We tried. He said, no, I'm not going to take any of those. I'm not going to take the bait there. Someone did ask him if the president asked him to resign, what would he say? And he said no. Very simple answer. Now, the president has mentioned that he would want to have a say in interest rates. He did walk those comments back, to be fair, and said, look, that doesn't mean I'm calling the shots. So even if Chair Powell were to be replaced when his term is up May 2026, he's still got over a year, I do think that there's 12 people, there's 12 on that board of governors that would still be a part of those decisions. So I don't think there's a concern that Trump would be running the Federal Reserve.
Important perspective. Very valuable. Kelly O'Grady, thanks so very much.